Oh. Can I get in the line? Can I get in my chat tonight? This evening. Happy Friday, everybody. Yes. We are up in here. Yes, we are. And I made it. Still was on time. I was on time. Okay, for all you counters.
Hey, guys.
The camera blurry, but we get the idea.
Is it?
Good family, good people. I know. Well, that's gonna make that roll call that much faster. China was in here first. Yes, indeed. What's up, Jennifer? Kimberly Ortiz, Jacksonville, in the house. Librarian. What's up, Shawnee? Elaine B. Say what you said, Elaine B. It's in the building. What's up, Janita? Kimberly Ortiz, my main man, Will. Yeah. What's up, Yvette? Chip Z. You know, me and Chip Z go way back. Y'all remember Action Slacks?
Oh my God.
Okay, this is just the Dallas that's home. Yeah, I go way back. That was the first one that we knew. They had those hands on selling Mortis. Anybody in DC in the house remember MORTONS? Yeah. Mortis, crazy they said. And they cried. They had to. Karen, you already know, Karen. You should know about Mortis and the crimes. Yes, indeed. What's up, Yvette? Fax 100, Stingray, Honeybee Lee. What's up, Victory? Tanya, what's in here? Up in here. Tehran. Tehran. Laura White. I see you. Uh-oh. Sherlina. That's right, you got me alive. And I got the mob hit this evening. Yes, indeed. We waiting on. You already know she's coming to class late, but you know, she's still gonna be great. You did. The D-ship coming in here. Yes, indeed. We're gonna have a whole crew. What's up, Bio Soul? You do. Just like Candy came through. I see you. Hey, yo. Speedy Rider. What's up, Rockwell? So sweet. Clap your hands, everybody. Yeah, that's how we do it. Class 100. What's up, Felicia? Melissa, Lane B, Tehran, Mikey Librarian. Come on in here, everybody. Come on in here. What's up, Tressa? Edith. What's up, Edith? Come on in here, everybody. Come on back, Turks, and talk to Pittsburgh. Yes, indeed. I'm going to shout out the sponsor tonight. Yes, indeed. That wasn't. I know that was not. Nah. Ain't no way. DJ just did it. Well, it's going to be all tonight. Look here, y'all. There she go. I told y'all.
Hello. Hey.
Made it. Indigo TV. What is going on, Indigo TV? It is Friday night.
Oh my goodness.
What? What?
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
He is definitely in the Lulu land. Some Delulu stuff. What you gonna do with him?
pH balance probably was off and left a little discharge in there.
You need to take them to the public health department. That's what she should have took them.
Good gosh. Hold on. Where is $1? $1. I'm calling you out. $1. $1 called me out on my phone. Last year, $1 called my feet out on a picture I posted online. $1 did a close-up. I was like, oh no. Because it was true. Oh man, $1 the feet back, baby. Yes, I did. Got my feet back. They looking nice and I got toes. I can wear sandals this year. Y'all know how many years it's been since I can wear sandals? Whew, not with these wolves hooves. Oh, dinosaur hooves in this camp, man.
Toes and toenails.
Look here, y'all.
That's a luxury.
Can I talk about my girl? Hey, Yola. Good gosh. Thank you so much for being a sponsor this evening. Yes, I do appreciate the love. Yes, indeed. And man,
I like your hair, China.
Thank you.
thank you, Connie Barnes. Shout out. She's sponsored. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we're not going to waste no time because these fools is crazy out here. These fools out here is crazy. They crazy.
Yes.
Crashing out. Crazy out here, man. Crashing out. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Narcs are crashing out. We have an assumption. We have this assumption. I know I do. I assume that, we living in a world that you can see that the devil is running everything, most of it. Just running amok with it. You know what I'm saying? Just running amok. And we have this assumption that because the narcs are, they there with their daddy. Daddy's work, we assume that they receive favor, but they do not.
From the devil. You're a horrible daddy.
They don't get a bonus. The narcissist is the perfect worker because they don't get no pay. They don't get no bonus. They don't get no good luck. They don't even get good standing amongst their boss. With their boss, they don't even get good standing because the boss still lie to them, still cheat them, still betray them. So what is their purpose? What is your purpose when there is no reward in narcissism? There is no reward. What is the reward? Let's start out right there tonight, ladies. We're gonna start right there. What is the reward for a narcissist? Come on.
There is a reward. It's temporary relief for them, because if they can bring somebody down, it can make them feel good in that moment. So they live for the moment. That's the reward for them.
I love it. So what you're saying is, because I went to public school. You know what I'm saying? I went to public school, and not a good one either. What you're saying is that the hater that y'all dealing with, the haters at work or the hater in your home, the only benefit that they get is knowing. It makes them feel good knowing that they did something that stopped your progress just a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if it's just, making you mad for the moment, it makes them happy. people have to bring people down in order for them to feel good, because they feel superior when they bring you down. They know your light, they know your capabilities, even at work. They know how good of a worker you are. So if they can make you feel bad and make themselves feel good, then that's the gratification and the reward for them, because that's the only thing they rewarded in life. They don't have no accomplishments. They don't have anything to show for their lives other than disaster, failed relationships, abandoned kids, abuse. That's all they have.
And they dealing with Kala in there. Like I literally like did a I don't know if I posted that one yet, but in Zechariah 5 it talk about the liar and a thief. Like that's what they are. They all got that characteristic. Those are their traits. The liar and the thief. It's some scrolls that come from heaven, according to Zechariah chapter 5, from heaven. Nothing you can do about that. They got is full of curses. Curses on the front, curses on the back. And those curses is to make them desolate. It's say to like expel the thief and the narc, but it's to make them desolate, which they are. Their soul is empty on the inside, and is destruction. It say it will consume their home, and the home is the body, because Jesus talked about when an unclean spirit leaves their home, they go out seeking rest, finding none, and come back with 7 more. So your home is your body. That's your home. So this curse is posted up in a narc from heaven, them scrolls, and full of curses, and it say it's going to consume. And a translation of consume in Zechariah 5 is Kala, right? Kala is the deity of death and destruction. Like I always said, these are the destroyers. Terminator the destroyer, that's them. Conan the destroyer, that's them. Whichever movie you want to put it to, that's them. They destroying, demolition, that's what they doing. The 80s has said it the best. They had all those movies, that was the narc. So that's them. And they dealing with that, and it's going to consume them. So Kala, the translation of that, is inside of them, and it's literally death and destruction. That's what they bring, and it's making them desolate. So anytime you are tethered to the kingdom of darkness and tethered to death and Sheol, then you need soul energy to live. So when they get a person to react, that's energy. Your energy is emotion, it's energy in motion. So your emotions is your energy source, your soul moving, doing frequency stuff. So when you're doing that and you're reacting to them, you're interacting in the spirit realm, there's an energy exchange happening, and they feed on that because they don't have that. They're desolate. So they need to feed on that to run. And that's what they get out of it. So if they
And
make
that's
you
why they provoke you at night when they can't sleep. They need that, because that's the only way that they could get that rest, and they sleep like a baby. That's why they love to stay up all night arguing, because they need that boost. That's why they just roll over and fall asleep, and now they snoring. They sleeping good off of your pain, off of your anger.
They legions is the night crew. That's them. Like, that's what they do.
Like they know that by not giving you that peace, not giving you that closure, you're not going to be able to sleep tonight. And that company, they not sleeping, but they feel so good knowing you ain't sleeping. Nah, you worrying about me. Yeah, you trying to fix this. Man, let's address that right there. Someone, you see how we got to talk about these people like they not even in the relationship in your home, right? Someone in your home, in your bed with you, who is determined you're not going to have no peace. Not tonight. Not laying next to me. You're not going to have any peace. You are going to be upset when you try to go to sleep. You're not going to be able to go to sleep. And a narc, so this is how cruddy they are. They want to start something. They want to get something started.
Yeah.
And you're definitely not going to get any closure on that. Especially if it's something that you are passionate about. You're not going to get any closure on that. But what they want to do is they want you to be up all night long. See, what that says to them is, that says to them, I still got you. We thinking they just want somebody to care about them. No. They want to exercise their control over you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about dominating you, talking over you, making you look like after they started something stupid in the house, now it's time. Now they can say, oh no, it's time. Now it's my turn. It's my turn. Why don't you leave me alone? I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to talk about, let's talk about it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And no, because they run this game so many times, you already know they're not going to talk to you. If you don't get straight right now, it ain't never going to get straight. And listen, you're not going to get it straight right now. So you do yourself a terrible disservice when a narc even gets the craziness going for entertaining it. Remember this conversation, guys. If I'm going to walk in here and entertain this clown, then I got to ask myself, what did you expect when you bought a ticket to the circus and then you went in? What did you think you was going to see? Because that's exactly what they planned on. That's exactly what this is all about. It's all about getting you into this mindset where everything you want, you're going to be made to feel some type of way for wanting anything. They want you to feel like, you know, I'm the victim. You're not the victim. I'm the victim. Even though I'm gonna make sure you don't get peace, you don't get sleep, you don't get anything that you want. But I am going to be the victim. You're not going to steal that from me. That is how it feels.
And let me add this to that too. It's not even just that sometimes they want to be the victim. It's all fun and games. They don't care to be the victim, because I've had it where I was asleep and was hit with a pillow so I could get up and start fussing. And then so they could get that argument and then they can fall asleep. And then too,
That's crazy. I'm gonna get it started, and here it is.
Yeah. And then too, the reason they like to argue at night is because it's something that, you know, how you could call them out their name, or they have trigger points, and it's some things you could say to them that would trigger them to want to put their hands on you. But then when they start that argument at night and you use those same triggers, it don't bother them. That silent treatment is immaculate. They will go silent on you and roll over and go to sleep. There's nothing you could say to them to trigger them, to get them mad. They know how to hold on to that little bit of peace that they got just from bringing you down. Because I've had that happen to me. They know they'll go silent. That's how you know something wrong with them.
I was like, I don't want to get a soul transfer. I don't want you to transfer the demons. I was like, this man out of his mind. Dang. He's just not in touch with reality. How you gonna transfer? You the demon. You know that's crazy.
But ain't that something how they do that? Ain't that something how they want you, after they done started all these crazy arguments and fights, and now they the victim and you the devil, you the problem. You do everything you can to attempt to get a conversation. Can we just get this back to a normal conversation, please, where we can resolve this and have a good night for the rest of the night?
That's like Eve talking to the devil, the serpent. That's literally what kind of conversation you're gonna have once you wake up to this, which most people should be awake now because it's so much portals open and spiritual, like eyes just open, that you just got to see it in a short time frame. But once you see what you saw and you can't ever go back and you can't ever unsee it, them things manifest. Now having a conversation with them is just like going to the devil's house. Hey, knock, knock. Hey, Satan, what's up? Can we talk for a minute? I just want to talk about the way you've been treating me. Like, I know you like a liar, deceiver, and you want to kill me. I know that. But I just want to talk about it. Like, can you be nicer? That's what you're doing.
No, not can we not talk about that tonight though?
Yeah.
You got the common courtesy of that, because I was told I don't want to talk about it no more. Not tonight, but no more.
You got to try to take it.
I ain't talking about it tonight. I said not tonight, all right? And I'm not gonna say it again. Next time I'm gonna punch you in your face. All right.
And then I'm gonna say you punch me. Because that's what they do. Like, the rationality of these minds, like, they're really in a delusional state, and they are like reconstructing this whole DSM stuff as they always do. But these people are demonized and delusional at best. And you go somewhere with them, and in court, please don't go to court without an attorney. Like, in court, they can turn the performance on, and they really act like something literally happened to you, where you be in a state happened to them from you, and you literally be in a stage of shock. Like, I can't even believe you was able to construct such a story as this and tell it with a straight face. But they got a spirit inside. That demon just take over.
Listen.
Hey,
Keith, I remember a court date. And I promise y'all, I got hundreds of these stories, because good Lord. Hundreds of those. So, we just, we get up, how they tell y'all, come on up for the mic or whatever.
Yeah.
Judge, it's a female judge, female court secretary, stenographer, and bailiff. And the bailiff was a guy. She go over there to her mic. I'm telling you, it was like she had gas pellets in her pocket. Instant tears. It was like 1, 2, 3, and action. And she started crying, and I mean on a dime. And the judge looked at the secretary, and the secretary looked at the judge. They both looked at each other like. And then the judge said, ma'am, no, ma'am. We haven't even asked you your name yet.
Oh my gosh.
Those were the judge's exact words. Man, we haven't even asked you your name. And the secretary, the court stenographer, she just was trying to hide her laugh like, this is unreal. Yeah. Ma'am, wait until we show you the cue for the tears, okay? Then you let them flow. You can just let them flow. Right. Let us find out what we're here for first. Okay, that's all.
But you know what, Harry-O? That's a stall tactic. So you can forget what you want to ask or forget what you want to say. My ex he did that to me. When I would ask the question, he like, just for 5 whole minutes. It's like, dude, like, I'm going to forget what I'm going to say.
You're right. That's a stall tactic, because they know when you're on. See, that's one of those places where you get to ask questions and you get to be very specific, and they have to address it. It's not, y'all not at home in the bedroom and you trying to get something out of them. No, now we in front of the judge, and the judge gonna make you say it. And that's how they avoid, that's how they able to, I don't know. Just leave me alone. I'm just
They're crazy. And if they ever use this line, because I was talking to a client today, one of my patients, and she was with a narc, but they use this line, I'm in fear of my life.
Absolutely.
And it's like the same script, the same line.
Listen.
Fear of your life.
That's the only line that is needed. When you go to a court that asks for a protection order,
yeah,
for my life. What happened?
That's
He's tall, he's dark, and I'm afraid of him.
and it goes either way. Like the dude that say things on the app, like, because out of fear of my life, I need to have this and that or whatever. But they're so delusional. Like, it gets to the point where you just have to like deal with them with an attorney, because even conversating, even on a parenting app, like those who have children with the narcissist, especially when they are the malignant narcissist or the religious narcissist, any of those two, that is like on the high end of Satan. Okay, they just right up there on a pyramid with them. Any of those two, yes, that's what they are. They right there. They done made a pact, because dealing with those kind, it's you really just have to have an attorney, and you want to make sure you don't say anything outside of it, like after the Discord or however. Don't say anything to them, because they're trying to just only build up a case. And he's so insane. Like, he's a patient. Like, he's really mentally insane, not on a court-ordered medication, and literally like sending messages. When I so can diagnose him, I'm like, dude, you're meeting every criteria. Like, I refuse to engage in your mental disorder and your delusions and participate. Please don't respond without an attorney. Like, we can't even do this delusional parent act, because he's like, oh, he's calling, like, that's what they do. They call authorities, calling the probation people, sent it like, well, I went here and the police officer said that he'll do this and do that. We're not engaging into all of that delusion. Like, no. Now you're getting a whole community in your delusions. And narcissists will do that. They will get a whole community, call a news station, anything to do this campaign smear against your name, just to make themselves seem as if they were the victim when they was the whole devil.
But you know what? That smear campaign is not just necessarily to make you look like a bad person. It's also for you not to talk to other people and tell your side of the story. So if you know that your name has been smeared, you're going to either spend that time with them people arguing your case and not even get to tell your side of the story. That smear campaign is to isolate you. They don't care really about ruining your reputation. They know it does, but it's more so to protect them and them being able to go back around those people where you are isolated. That's the point of all of that.
Ooh. Cut them all out. Cut out everybody surrounded in Narcville around that narcissist. Just the mama, the sister, the grandpa, all of that stuff. Cut them all off, because if they dealing with that and they believe that and they ask you about it, then they in Delulu land. Just snip, 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 block, 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 get your block list on, because you will realize that your world ain't even a world. Your life is nothing like their life. Like,
I think the biggest reason why you should ignore what they putting out there on you, just ignore it, because even though you don't see this at the time, because at the time you hurt because somebody done dragged your name through the mud so bad, and you hurt because you're going through this crazy mess. So it's difficult to not address when people do bring that to your attention. However, for those who made it through, listen, on the other side, I promise you, everybody that just got that much common sense, everybody see right through every lie they done told. You ain't the first person they done ran this game on, ladies and gentlemen.
For real.
Who did in your family, you don't know that cockroach the way you know them, just remember, they know you. That's your family, and your family knows you. And if they're going to judge you on some mess that some foreigner telling them, and they're not going to clear it up, which even, and I'm saying even if they want to clear it up or not, bottom line is the people who really back you, they're going to back you. And this is the main part I want y'all to know. Even the people on your side that aren't backing you, it don't even matter. Because guess what? Everybody, y'all hear that? Everybody on their side already know how cruddy they are.
Oh yeah.
Already know how much they lying on you. Everybody on their side already knows the whole story of how they dogging you, how they cheating on you, how they just doing you dirty. Everybody on that side all knows. So you reconfirming it for them, you wasting your time. You don't have to. The way you show them, y'all heard me. I said show them.
Yeah.
What's going on with you is you just keep going out here and keep on living. Your life gonna come right back together. You leave that narc alone, your life gonna come right back together. Everything gonna start flowing the way it's supposed to.
A lot better.
Have some trying times. Listen, y'all. If you not tried out here, man, then you ain't doing nothing.
You on the wrong side.
Your life, you ain't got no hurdles. You ain't having no hard times. You ain't going through no trials. You ain't going through nothing. Man, then you ain't got nothing going on in your life. If you're not being tried, you're not growing.
No.
You standing still. You going backwards. You can't handle any responsibility. Yeah, I know it get heavy on us sometimes. I promise you I know. However, understand it's making you the person that you're becoming. That person is waiting for you to get there.
Yeah.
That's what they run from. They run from growth. And I also want to give you guys this. I did a TikTok video on this. You know, a lot of people, huh?
You back on TikTok?
Yeah, I just be bored. I'm a politician now, so life is boring. I got to fly the straight and narrow right now. But so, yeah, I be on TikTok. But like I said on that video, a lot of people, oh, why they go over there and get this person everything that I wanted, everything that, I asked them for. It's not even, sometimes you got to understand too, it's that new person. Because they've been over there pillow talking to that person and told them everything. She wanted to have a baby with me. She wanted to get married. And now that person is in competition with you. So now they're trying to get all these things that you tried to get out of that relationship, whether it's a vacation, a marriage, a baby. It's not always the narcissist doing it. They new supply, whether innocent or not, is also competing with you and trying to get these things. And sometimes they suggest it. So that's why you see them getting all the things that you wanted, is because of that pillow talk. And that person is like, well, I'm finna get this. She didn't get that. So I'm gonna one up her and I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna have this baby. I'm gonna marry him. I'm gonna do this. That's what happens sometimes. And that's why it depends on who's posting it on social media. If your ex is posting it, then that was his idea. If the other person was posting it, it was both their idea. Trust me when I tell you.
And they both do that stuff, and that is so true. Like, they are in that competition. They do have that jealousy and envy, especially like when you were married and they knew about you, and then they still pursue. And then when they got whatever that is, they got that thing, and they made a covenant with it. I mean, it's always about you. Like, that whole thing that's going on, like, that person is really trying to be exactly me, but he's trying to be me. So what he did was he tried to take my identity and make it to that stuff that he's doing. But God, when you rock with God, this is what the jokers don't understand, because they under the influence of the devil. God gonna rise you up. Like, there's no competition with God. So what they're in competition with is your light, and your light comes from God. That's the source. Yep. So they don't even know who they battling against. They wars against God. So when you look at it that way and you take yourself out of it, because you have to take yourself out of it, you got to look at that's the kingdom of darkness with them too. They in a demonic covenant, and they're at war with God, a war that they would never win. God wins all his battles. And so it's just it's something to laugh at. It's like a clown show. but they are in competition. That person, the narcissist came with nothing. Like we sat up here and we made the narcissist something based on our own pride that we probably had. Like a lot of us, to be with a narcissist and make that stuff work, you got to have some pride issues going, because walking away with that would have been the best idea, but because of image and things and beliefs and all of that stuff, you tried to make something work that was dark. But because of that, our own pride stuff, that's the only reason why we think that this narcissist is even something to talk about or wonder what's going on in their mind. What's going on in their mind is chaos. That's it. They have nothing here. We all seen the brain images. There's no connections there. There's no oxytocin. There's no love. They got to supplement dopamine. They got to get all these dopamine hits. They're not only getting it from the new supply, but they either got some type of hidden addiction or some hidden sex life. They all doing some type of weird pornography on their phones and all this other stuff. So they are distorted and chaotic and messed up and just demonized. That's the Lulu. That's them. That's what's going on in their mind. We don't have to figure out what they doing, how they making this money. Everything is lies, manipulation, chaos, and it's leading to death and destruction. That's it. You're going to hear probably a year or two later, they done destroyed either their home or somebody else's home, but they're destroying something. They're not over somewhere making somebody's stuff peaceful and built up. There's nothing on the internet that says, hey, I was with a narcissist and they made my life 100% better. There's no stories like that.
Not one. Not one. That's the only thing you cannot find on the internet. Is how great my life was with a narcissist. How great my life is with a narcissist. You cannot find any searches like that. Y'all, anybody, and y'all know y'all gonna check now.
Yes. I don't even think they saying they made somebody life better. I think
a narcissist would feel some type of way if you walked around and you weren't broken by what they attempted to do to you. And I think they do feel some type of way because we have decided to walk away. And when you walk away, you're telling that person, everything you tried to do to me, I see you, I saw it, and you will never in this universe, lifetime, for the rest of your being existence, you will never be able to not only come around me and try me like that again, but just at any level. Just any level. Guys, when you strip the narc of your presence, that's something, guys, that's something that most people fight with to the last day. Like, wow, that really is big that I got to cut this person completely off. Like, hey, man, no. And we're not going to have another conversation. That, guys, a narcissist cannot deal with that level of permanence.
No, they can't. And that's why they crashing out, because we Uno reversed on them. We're getting out of these relationships faster than usual. We're not taking their BS. They're on the internet. They're race baiting. They're sex baiting. They're complaining about everything because nothing is going their way anymore. And that's why they're out there crashing out. You got all these channels, men against women, blacks against whites, Mexicans against everybody. You know, I seen that movie Sinners day before yesterday. I advise you guys to watch that movie because that movie has a message in it. And it shows, like, everybody think, oh, why do they get away with everything? That movie is showing how sinners are having a day of sin. And at the end of the night had all crash and end in disaster, and lives are destroyed at the end of the switch.
You gotta rewind that. You slowed down on us. You started doing
Yeah, it went there. It went there.
It's showing it's showing how sinners all come together to have a day of sin, and at the end of the day, their lives are destroyed. Their lives end. They end up tangling with their own father, the devil, who come to destroy them, even though they're sinners. You have to pay attention to that movie to get the message. And it may look weird because it's switching the times, like today's times is just showing you that it was back then as now, it was in between. So you really got to pay attention to this movie to get the message. But that was a deep message from that movie. I just got a little scared when they started talking that voodoo stuff, because I don't know if it's real. I don't want to hear it.
It was real. They actually consulted a hoodoo priest to they was doing hoodoo, and they consulted a priestess to make the movie, to make the spell. So you got to also be careful and renounce like spells that are done in there, because they did the actual chants. They had the priestess there, they had the things, they got interviewed, and they were saying how they did it and why they did it. But that's exactly how it go down. Like, these people are wicked, even though they made that deal with the devil, because they did it whether they know it or not. Like, some of them knowingly made the deal with the devil and they know they did it and they say it. So if a narcissist ever tell you they made a deal with the devil, just leave. Don't believe like they're reformed now and stuff, because they have to get that consent. I did a listening like, hey, you made a deal with the devil, that's in game. But you know,
they never say that. I've never heard one say.
My ex told me he made a deal with the devil in prison, and I told you how he sealed the deal. There was some sick stuff, but he waited to after there was a contract involved. So,
like he said, like Shannon Sharp told old girl, $25K a cheek.
Shannon, poor Shannon. Poor Shannon, man.
That boy gave up each cheek for a bag of ramen noodles.
Oh my gosh.
Man, ain't that something? Ain't that something? When he get to pay, she want 50 million. 50 million. And he was going to pay her 10. I was like, what? Like, bro,
that's how the devil tricked them now. Like, he's promised them this stuff, but he's going to take it back. He's not going to have anybody continuously gaining at all.
We about to have that conversation right there, y'all, because that's what's happening out here. That devil gonna handing it out, and taking it right back.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do so. I was watching this this new content creator. It's a female. Smoke smoke. Anyway. Man, she got a definite. I like some of the stuff that she's talking about. I like some of the stuff she's talking about. You know, some stuff ain't sitting right with me though. So I trust what don't sit right with me. Because if you say something and it agrees with me, you know what I'm saying? If it makes sense, I have to agree with it.
Yeah.
It don't, and when it gives me an energy, I'm learning how to follow that energy and deal with that situation. But you know, she made some really good points about, you know, casting spells and people under spells and how we speak spells. But and I agree with it because it goes along with something that I've said before, which is the duality in the language that we speak. We don't speak, English is not an original language.
Hooked on phonics.
That's just not an original language. I'm saying that we could be speaking spells against ourselves all day and we would not even do it.
Oh yeah.
That's designed like that from the Phoenicians. So if we knew our history, the Phoenicians, they went to European, you got Europa involved. The Phoenicians and Europa, all that's involved. Jezebel was a Phoenician priestess. Okay, so we're dealing with Jezzy up to Europa. They then came over here, they did all of that with the language. Now, God in Hebrew, he ain't had those vowels in the language. Those vowels came from them. The vowels, now you got vowels spelled VOWELS. And then you got vowels like VOWS. Now the Phoenicians is a witch language. Okay, so their witch language, they understand everything is created by frequency, by sound. Everything, even like everything we see, everything that's here is sound. God spoke and it was created. So when we speak, just like he said, we can speak blessings or we can speak curses. Man is the only one and that's man and female, but they're the only one who can create. We're the only ones made in the image of God. So when we speak, we have creative power. So the witches, the Phoenicians, reptilians, and them, they can't really do all that. So what they did was they tricked everybody, gave us this alphabet, and this alphabet is some things that they brought over. And so now when we say certain things that we've learned, it can mean different things, and the witches know what it means. So they do things with intent. So it's the intent behind it too, because you can say something like, even the morning, because morning is MOURNIG, like you're starting off morning the day, but then you won't know that, so that won't affect you if you don't know it, but the witches know it, and sometimes people may know it and still say it.
If you've never studied that, and if you're not paying attention, that's how subtle this is. That's how subtle it is, that if you don't even, all you know is if somebody say good morning to you, you're supposed to say it back. That's how they know. That's how these witches are walking around. These warlocks are walking around, and they know you don't see me. You still don't see me because I just said good morning to you. Either you don't see me or you don't even see yourself. You don't even know what you're saying. And that's one of the reasons. Stop saying it and see how people start looking at you.
That's why I always say hi or hey, because both of those mean life in Hebrew. Hi is spelled HAI, and hey, just HEY. Both of those is life. So anytime I start a message, I just be like hi or hey. But that's one way that you can start reversing it. But I always try to speak life. But these narcissists that are witches and warlocks, whether they profess to be black magic or whatever, they know, like even my mom and them know, they know that there's power in your words. So when they get somebody to speak something, they know enough about the spirit realm to know that they're getting that person in an agreement or in some type of creative power. Even if they, say something negative, like their goal is to pull your energy tethering down to their kingdom level. A lower frequency is depression, anxiety, and all of that, so that their demons feed on, because their demons can't go to that high joy frequency. They can only attack you if you at a low frequency. Then unaliving yourself can come in, and all of that can come in. Heaviness can come in, but you got to be at a depressed and anxiety level for that to come in. But what they do is they speak negativity, like, oh, you failing, and you be like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Boom, you just cursed yourself. They know that.
Hey, Keith, and another thing that you got to look at too is I like that statement, about that frequency when we speak, ladies and gentlemen. That's big. It's big when we speaking. That frequency that you are on when you speak, and that's another reason that a narcissist wants to argue with you.
Yeah,
because you keep, guys, what you don't understand about yourself, something that we don't even understand about ourselves, is that every day, do you understand that every day you wake up optimistic about that new day? Even if the day going crazy, even if you got craziness going on in your life, you have a reset inside of you that's automatic every day, that is in tune with you waking up and the sun hitting you. You're automatically, okay, you know what? We just gonna figure this out today, and I'm not gonna let this tear me down or whatever. And you automatically start to rejuvenate. And a narc knows that. And that is why that's why they own you. They need you. You wondering why are we still talking about this crazy topic? Why are we still arguing over something stupid? And I told y'all, a narcissist, listen, I need y'all to hear me tonight. You ain't ever had a conversation. You ain't ever had an argument with a narcissist that the narcissist was right about.
No.
I said, you have never, and you don't mean that. I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is because a narcissist would not waste their time justifying truth to you. Object of the game is to not tell the truth and to make you lie. Because if you know that you're speaking the truth, you ain't gonna argue it.
And
That's
you
why
know,
you're never going to see a narcissist argue the truth to you. No.
you know what? They not, prevalent with the Bible. They only know like certain phrases that they hear people say. They can't really get deep into the Bible.
Come on.
But the devil knows the Bible back and forth. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why he used them. And that's why they argue with you at night, because the Bible specifically says, do not let the sun set on your anger. And they
Yep.
make you angry at night and don't give you that closure. So now you're waking up angry, and that ruins your day. That ruins your peace. It not only messes up your night, it ruins your day, because they know that we can hear some bad news today, sleep good tonight, and work on it tomorrow. And they don't want us to be able to do that. And also, I want to say too, the Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue. What people don't understand is that's a gift that God gave us, that we're like him, because whatever he said, whatever we speak of, it should be. And also, he said his word shall not come back to him void. So in other words, he's saying if he speaks something, then it's going to be. And he gave us that same power, that if we speak something, that's what it's going to be. And that's why they always impose negativity on us with our self-esteem. So we can speak that and feel that ourselves. And that's what we become. And that's what we end up in the end when they leave us. So be very careful what you speak, because our words will not come back void neither.
Come on.
And them narcissists, them antichrist narcissists, the antichrist, the ones that they just launched out like in the past few years, them kind, they know exactly. They targeting the believers because they know the power of the spirit realm, and their goal is to lure you away and put you, hopefully destroy you. Hopefully you don't exist anymore, but they want to completely just get rid of your faith completely. So they speak things. And my ex, I know he felt like, because the hood background, because my name Keisha, all that stuff, the hood stuff, that he felt like I'm dealing with somebody that don't really know what they talking about, or just the average like lukewarm church goer, because that's he would say things and do things, and that's who they really target. But what he didn't know was that, yeah, that's how the family background was, but God was actually using him, allowed this thing to happen to allow me to be able to walk out of my boldness, because I always was held back by fear and speaking stuff, and I always allow other people to speak for me. He didn't know that I knew exactly about deliverance and spiritual warfare and the power that God had on my life. So that type of environment, it was two kingdoms battling all the time, because he would say so many curses, and he literally would use that head of household. He would use that card, which the enemy know he got the legality, but I had to use the authority that God given to me about my life. Like, even if he departed, my life still said those demons don't have the right to torment me. And I had to really allow God to do what he had to do to separate that, because he had to intervene. So when we cry out to him, if we are believers and we cry out to God in a narcissistic situation, God's going to step in and remove them. We have to be okay with the removal, because they knowingly know that they're speaking curses over you and your family. And they will always say things like, your son's not going to do this, your child's not going to do this, they're going to do that and do that. And all you would do is go back and forth, fanning yourself, canceling everything in the spirit realm. Like, I cancel that, they're going to do this, cancel that, they're going to do that. And that's exhausting in itself. But that's exactly the kind of life that it is with a religious narcissist that was sent to destroy your life and your bloodline, because that's their assignment. They are on assignment, and that's it. They don't have any feeling. It's desolation in that soul, and they know that I'm going to destroy you, because I got to put out your light. That's the end game, and the light of your children, because your children be in stages where they're happy and they have that light and they feel love, because you're a loving parent and you give them love. They hate that because they didn't get love.
They hate it because, of course, they're haters, but they also hate the fact that you have a relationship with somebody that's genuine.
Yeah.
They hate your guts that they're not able to destroy that relationship. They hate your guts that they're not able to just destroy everything around you. Guys, when you still have a relationship with a child you had with that devil, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling y'all. And you crazy if you think that you gonna have a relationship with those children that ain't gonna be tried. You gonna be tried. Yes, Lord, you gonna be tried with that child.
Yeah, and they hate you.
Hey, you still gonna make it through. It's still gonna be, you still gonna be fine. But they have a serious issue with, I couldn't destroy you, and I couldn't destroy the relationship between you and that child, because they want to destroy you, or they want to destroy that child right in front of you.
Yeah, and they destroy that child too because they have that relationship with you that they didn't have with their mother. They hate you because you do for your child what their mother didn't do for them. And that's why they hate you. And that's why they abandon their children, because they are jealous of what you're giving them. And then they consider you treating them like crap when they forced you to be that way because of the way they treat you. I'm not going to reward disrespect with respect. I'm going to give you the same energy you giving me. And that's what they don't understand. They want us to sit there and take all the abuse, all the pain, cry all the tears, and just sit there and take it and not be able to love because they don't know how. But they don't know. We know how to love ourselves through it all, because if you sit through something that long,
slow down, because they hate your guts for that part. You got the ability to love. You got the ability to look in the mirror and love that. Man, I looked in the mirror today. I said, man, yeah, my man, you all right with me, champ. Yeah, you all right with my man. That's my man right there. You have the ability to see yourself and love the person you see. A narcissist does not have that ability, ladies and gentlemen. They know they dirty. They know they cruddy. That's why they don't respect people that respect them. That's why they don't respect you when you respect them. Y'all hear that part? They will never respect you for as long as you show them gratitude or respect. You just treat them indifferently if you have to treat them any kind of way. I'd suggest, hey, man, I don't know why you feel you have to acknowledge them or you have to speak with them or whatever. Stop trying to prove you the exception to the rule and you can get your life back. Because for as long as you continue to stay down in that rabbit hole, waiting for one magical day, listen, I want you to know something today. As long as you stand in contact with that narc, for as long as you pretending that one day they gonna act right, one day they gonna figure out that they lost the greatest person that's gonna love them in their life, they know that that's what you're waiting on. They know you waiting for that justification. They know that you're waiting for them to free you, to give you that closure, that you were everything. They know what they know what they not giving you. They know what they pulling back from you. Hey, Christina, I know we took a while, but we wrapped up. Thanks for that super chat. Christina said one of the lessons here was to focus on yourself. We focus too long on them for happiness and then pain. Good gracious. We hold the key to our happiness. It will not come from anyone else, ladies and gentlemen. It's you and God. You the key. You're not getting that back from somewhere else. You're not going to listen. And if you're dealing with one of them, you ain't gonna get no happiness anyway.
No, just a few minutes around them. Just a few minutes. Okay, their magnetic field is so wicked and evil. And my whole equilibrium was disrupted for about 24 hours. Our fields can't even be around each other. Like that is so. It's just it's too much. It's too much. You can't be in a vicinity once you get back where you're supposed to be with God, where He put you at, and you like in your joy and your peace. You can't be around chaos and destruction
Okay.
and be okay. They had to meet you at a point. This is how Satan set it up, and this is clear. If you ever look back on how y'all met, you will see how he set it up. Usually, he has a bunch of stressors happen at the same time because he creates a storm. He gets a storm rumbling, and then he puts in that family narc, have them going in your head, putting in those low vibrational statements. Are you ever gonna find somebody? Or are you putting on weight? Are you doing this? Or things that they say to nitpick. That's nothing is elevating or encouraging. It's all downplaying you or backwards compliments. So he'll have them going, and the wave is going and going. And then something may happen with your vehicle or whatever may happen. Chaos. Something may happen in the house. Something's going on. Then comes the narcissist, because Satan had to create an environment for that narcissist to even be able to step in. And y'all have to understand that, because when Satan is not in the mix, once you understand who you are and God elevates you and then he put himself back in you and pull you out, that narcissist can't even step in that presence. They can't even do it because the demons inside of them have to have a negative environment. Satan has to create an environment toxic enough for that unclean thing to even come in your vicinity. That's how this works in the spirit realm.
See, but that's why I tell everybody think, oh, I'm just going to heal from this situation. No, you have to go to the roots. You have to go to that little child in you. Like I said before, that's who they finesse. That little child in you. That's who they talk to. And that's how we keep running into narcissist after narcissist, because that little child is still wanting and craving love and attention. And they know how to finesse that child. The devil knows your desires. The devil knows what you want. He knows what that little kid wants. I don't care what facade you have on, what you got going on in your life. That little kid inside of you is lacking. And the devil sends them in catering to that child. And that's why it's not your picker. You're not healing. You have to go to the root and heal that child. You have to hug that little boy or that little girl and love them. Give them what they
fantasy.
Believe it or not, your picker is not what's broke. Okay. You know what, you're right. You're right on that, because when you think about it, it's like you're trying to pick someone, but you're doing it in fantasy.
Yeah.
You're doing it, based on things that are not really tangible at first. You just like, hey, you know what? This person, they look good. I'm gonna give this a shot because I like how they look. And we will stick around for the worst news we ever heard, we ever had, the worst life with this person, the worst everything. And that person never really gave you strong signs that they were solid, that they were good. They never gave you that. But we will, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm acting this way. Maybe I got to open up a little more. Maybe you got to shut up for real. Maybe you just need to shut up and sit down and have some standards. How about that? How about choosing somebody that you ain't got to take your clothes off to get to know them first?
Man, I was Harley Quinn for 10 months. Harley Quinn. I was sitting up here and I mean, for 10 months, almost a year with this person, with one narcissist, that you really got to heal from that childhood, the stuff that they gravitate to, because things can be fun and then you will get in an entanglement. And then once you're in a demonic entanglement, and this was years ago, and I learned a hard lesson from that stuff. I learned a hard lesson. I don't just be agreeable anymore, because this dude really thought he was the Joker. And then it got very scary, because he really the whole narrative played it out. And you would go there because at first you laughing, okay, hi, we gonna dress up, this is fun, you can dance, this is all that. But when you got demons involved, to rob a destiny, stuff can happen real quick. And before you know it, you in something that you don't even realize. Like I literally had all these different Harley Quinn wigs, and I was thinking like, I don't even like this stuff. I mean, like you, because he like try to have all these different comments, like you need to read this version, and because it's different stories to all of that. But you get to a point of reality when you come out of the Lulu. You get to a point of reality, and you just like, wait a minute, how did I get so far off? And that's where everybody have to come to with a narcissist, because he was a narcissist. And I mean, we had it. I got pregnant and lost a child, so that was kind of how that connection ended up having that length of time, because it wasn't even supposed to go that long. But you have to come to a point, like even with the last one, or even with the marriage, or however, like anybody had just recently been entangled with, you have to really look at the reality. Like none of that was who you are. All of that was still a deluded fantasy, even if it was the fantasy of I got the wife and kids, or I got the husband and kids, or I got the church person, or I got the picket fence, or I got the dog, or whatever the fantasy is. It's something that was culturally programmed at some point, but ending up with that was never in your program.
No.
It was never your desire. It was something you always tolerated, and then you try to cultivate into a reality of yours, but it never was a reality. It was all a fantasy or delusion. This person gonna rescue me. This person gonna give me the money, or this person gonna make me look good, or we gonna be a power couple. We gonna have businesses. Whatever the fantasy is still a fantasy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we realized that we never lost anything, even if they with a different person, they with another deluded individual. You never lost anything.
Because they don't run towards growth, they run from it. We challenge them to grow, and they don't want to grow, so they run to somebody who's going to take them at the level that they're at. And that's why you always see them with a downgrade. It doesn't necessarily have to mean looks. It can be somebody who doesn't have a job. Male narcissists run to women who's going to respect them because they can provide. Narcissists want respect. They don't want love. As long as you respect them, then you're still going to have problems with them. But it's not going to be as bad because you're respecting them. You're their favorite goofy. That's what I was. I was the favorite goofy. That's why I say if y'all think y'all grade A supply, that's exactly what you are. Their favorite dummy. Somebody that they can abuse, somebody they can run somewhere else and then run back to you, keep putting you in the cycle. You is the person, that transitional supply. They don't like you for real. So stop thinking because you think you're grade A supply that you the best they had. No, you're not. They don't like you. They hate you. They just use you for that moment to get to somebody else because you keep letting them come back. They not going to respect you because you let them come back. They lose more and more respect for you each and every time. You just, you're the one really enabling their behavior because they can come, put a Band-Aid over the wound and then go play somewhere else and then come back when they're wounded again. They get wounded out in the streets and then come back to us and we nurse them back to health and then they SHIT on us again and then go run and then that mess up is back and forth. It's a cycle for them. Don't keep getting caught up in that cycle because you're going to, at the end of the day, when your eulogy is being read, there's not going to be nothing good to say about your life, nothing accomplished about your life.
They're going to, matter of fact, they're going to disrespect your life if it's at all possible. If they can access your funeral and talk to some people about you, man, if something happened to you while and you for some reason pass away early or right after that situation, you unalive yourself, man, they gonna tell everybody. Oh, I told y'all they was crazy. I told y'all that, it was always something. Man, y'all just don't know what kind of hell I was living in. They get, when you not here no more, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand there's nobody that can defend your side of the story? And except for your very close relatives that know you. Outside of that, they telling everybody, man, y'all just don't know the hell. They gonna be at your funeral and being the victim. They gonna be the victim at your funeral because they gonna come in there fake, pretending they crying, they sad. Because of that sympathy. They don't even want you to get sympathy in your grave. And I have, good God, I remember one specific case. This guy was saying how a buddy of mine, he went to a funeral of a friend of his, and he was saying how his friend had unalived himself. He could not understand why he couldn't make this thing right with his wife. And he just lost it because he couldn't be with her no more. And she was at the funeral, did not shed a tear, and talked about him like, I told y'all he was crazy. I told y'all didn't understand what I was going through and blah, blah, blah. Another situation just happened right here at the National Harbor. This guy, he goes up there, him and his girlfriend broke up. He go down there, and this just the other day. What's today? Friday, just on Wednesday or Tuesday. This dude go down there and stab the girl and her boyfriend, new guy, and then get into a shootout with the police. Ladies and gentlemen, these fools are crashing out.
Yes.
Out here.
Yeah.
Crashing out, man. And they listen, ain't nothing that can save them, ain't nothing that can help them. And one of the things I wanted to tell everybody tonight, man, one of the main things I wanted to tell everybody tonight was that, guys, y'all gotta start walking out here in this world, in this life, and you gotta tread lightly, man.
Yeah.
You have to tread lightly because we are dealing with too much craziness for us to be able to keep thinking that we just gonna keep getting by this. These fools are serious. They serious. They listen, they don't have any cares about their own lives. And they are ready to put you in a situation where they will take yours. And I'm not saying that they doing it and they gonna be right in what they're doing. They don't care if they gotta take yours and they wrong.
Yeah. Because this is a whole different war. Like that enemy inside of them, that black snake, APEP, APEP, that thing is at war with all humanity. And it's an allegiance with them. And that thing wants to devour. Like they have those scrolls. They dealing with scrolls in their body. Can't do nothing with that. The first wife was on my TikTok. She even confirmed it. That this person was demonized from the beginning. They have done hundreds and hundreds of people the same way. And the first wife was like, everything is confirmed because this person is so wicked. And the first wife, cool, like that, it was no beef. I was raising her son, it's cool. But it's like, because he lied on her too. Like everybody that come through this, there's people who are good-hearted people, not to use the supply thing, because that supply thing is a way for the narcissist to still put people down and still have people in this bondage of trying to have that pride to make themselves available for a demonized individual. It's never about supply. It's about your heart. If you have a good heart, God made everybody fearfully and wonderfully, and he's a good God, and what he create is perfection. So what we have to do is our self-worth. We might love ourselves, but our self-worth, because of people's backwards compliments, because of rejection, because of family stuff, generational curses or whatever, all of this stuff, it weighs down your self-worth, and then it puts you on that low field, that energy field where the narcissist is at, where the creepy and crawly things are at, all the little dark things and spiders and snakes and all of that bears on mine. That's all of them. And it puts you down there because you're so weighed down with all of that negativity. That is what the narcissist wanted to keep you at. But don't ever go with the supply stuff, because they a lot of times they try to get lucky, or with them they deal with luck. We deal with blessings, but they try to put their hook out there and get a good heart one, because they can feed off of a good heart energy for a long time. They can recreate a whole identity off of a good heart energy.
What do you
Okay, that's enough to recreate themselves and shapeshift.
listen? Not only can they, that's exactly what they're going to do.
They do.
That's exactly what all of them have done. They literally ran off. Just hey, I've just become somebody brand new.
Yeah.
Before your eyes, just like they ain't did nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's something we spoke about. We've been talking about this for about the last 2 years, maybe more than that now, about, those words. I know most of the people here remember me saying this before. Like, y'all, we're not going to just follow what everybody's saying on the internet about you being supply and all that. That's a spell you casting on yourself.
Yeah.
Soul tie. Man, don't say that about you. Don't say I'm soul tied to nothing but God. I ain't soul tied to nothing but God.
You got to sever the soul ties. They beat that.
Man, I'm not giving power to none of that. Because when you speak power into it, then you wonder why I can't get away from this fool. Why can't I get my mind off of it? I'm telling you, that's the secret. We wonder, why did this take so long? Why do I feel this way? Why am I so insecure about this? Because you done spoke that spell on yourself. You have spoke, but I love this person. What you love about this person? You ever notice you swear you in love with that thing? You swear you love that thing. And then find out later when somebody question you and say, well, what you love so? And you ain't got nothing. Just the way it make me feel.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? What you feel?
But you know what, Harry-o? They need not get caught up on them scientific terms neither. Because as I, do my therapy and everything, I've realized that they are not even, no matter what their beliefs are not allowed to talk about God with you. Yeah. Psychologists cannot talk about God with you because they're trying to sell it as if it's all science and that they know it all. And so when I speak to my therapist about God, she's very quiet talking about that. She don't mention it. And that's why I say, with all this limerence and all this garbage, they telling you it's something else, that you have this delusion, you have these thoughts. And then I forgot the one term where it's saying that you obsessed with that person. They telling you you're all of this instead of a person who healing, a person that lost somebody that they thought they loved. That's why you're thinking about that person. You're not obsessed with them. You're not in limerence with this person. And that's why I tell people, be careful with all these scientific terms, because that can also brainwash you and have you feeling a certain way when it's not even that. I don't like all this mental illness, all this stuff, because I swear I'm teaching my therapist everything. She knows about narcissists, but she is just so amazed, like, why am I even talking to you? You know everything. Why are you here? And then I can teach her a thing or two, because she, like, I've never thought about it that way. You should have. See, they just train to speak a certain way and say certain things to you, and they can't put their opinions in it or their experiences, because they have to sell you their way of saying and thinking in order for them to be able to medicate you for a problem they announce and to tell you have, other than you've been abused and you need to seek God and heal.
And you know something else? That you hit it right on the head. Rarely, matter of fact, well, I ain't gonna say Keisha was the only one, but I would say maybe 3 therapists that I've met that I've talked to have actually gone through it. The rest of them, man, they lost. When you talking about that, they lost. They just turn it back into you, which inevitably, it is about you. It is about you going through this and you getting to another place in your life. This is a test. This devil sure enough is a test. And this is the thing I want y'all to be able to see. When you have shown and been able to prove, you hear me? Y'all hear me? When you have shown and you can prove that you defeated the devil, that the devil did not conquer you, that the devil didn't fool you, that the devil betrayed you and lost.
Yep.
Do you understand who you are at this point? That you made it through. That the devil did not destroy you. The devil got one job, ladies and gentlemen. The devil got one job. And that one job, that one little jobby job, is for you to not make it through this. For you to be totally, completely disconnected from reality. Every argument you ever had with that devil, you were right. That's how they make you crazy. That's how a narcissist is able to get you so tangled up and bound up, because you're arguing something, you're right. You're telling them how you're right. You're proving and you're showing them how you're right. But yet, they got you thinking, man, maybe I'm wrong. Listen, everybody, I want y'all to know one thing that I know for sure. And I don't even know most of y'all personally. I promise you, every argument you ever had with a narcissist, every last one of you were absolutely right. They will never waste their time on an argument proving you. See, when they write about something, that's when they get quiet. And they start just judging you and evaluating. Look, you crazy. You look at you.
Everything they do is a demonic strategy. Like everything they do, it's all a demonic strategy. And the way that these systems are set up, there are things that goes on with what this world can do, because it's a Babylonian system. They can address the flesh, they can address your chemicals and all of that stuff. They figured out how to kind of get them to where you're stabilized, because if those are off, you're going to be hallucinating, you're not going to be sleeping. Things are off chemically. Then they can figure out the soul. Okay, you got these wounds or these emotions. Well, let's try to do cognitive therapy or change the way you think or the way you look at it. But they can't tap into that spirit, because most of them are into either paganism, atheists, or witchcraft themselves. So they're not going to tap into what you really need is to heal that spiritual wound. So what happens when you're with a narcissist or with anybody in a sexual way, what happens is there's a marital covenant. Okay, there's a covenant and now there's contracts, whether you married or not, because what God ordained sex for was between husband and wife in a covenant, and life comes out of that. And there's a life energy that's produced with that. Now, the demonic kingdom know about this life energy. So anytime that happens, they're right there and they get that life energy and they take it to their kingdom. And that's how they feed and survive, because that's a dead kingdom. So when that happens, that covenant, that has to be undone. So there is something that has to be renounced in the spirit. You got to renounce the demonic covenants. You do have to renounce the soul ties, because there was an energy transfer. So when somebody have intercourse, there's a marital covenant in the spirit. Your spirits become one, but then your energies merge. And a destiny swap can happen. That's how they do all their magic, is with those energies. So now your emotions are entangled with them in the quantum. So they can make commerce with that. They can do all of that stuff. They can keep that a stronghold on your imaginations. They're going to rumination thinking. So until you can get that stronghold off, and that can only be done by the power of Jesus. Like, hey, I need you to come and break the stronghold, because he got blood for that. Blood, that takes a covenant. So a new covenant with Christ is what extinguishes out a covenant with death. That's the only thing. Once that chain break in the spirit, because the sword of the word is the spirit, and you renounce, you go through prayers, you do some things, that's it. That narcissist will no longer have any tethering to you. If they come around and all of that stuff, they might be able to try to offload some imps, but that's gonna be fought within a day. Like you won't sit there and be lingering, and they won't have control of your imaginations, because
Mm,
that's film in your subconscious that's running on automatic that the devil taps in when you covenant with one of his children. So this thing is deep that the psychiatry will never teach, but psyche is soul. So they're in tune with the soul, and what they do is try to treat you on that low frequency instead of
mm,
giving you the tools, which would be the Holy Spirit, to get you on a different frequency. You
mm.
got to get on the third heaven. You got to get with God in order to defeat the devil.
Ain't no other way, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ain't no other way. If you ain't doing, if you're not, well, I spoke about this on Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, we seeing it. We seeing it. It's so bad out here right now.
Yeah.
You can hardly go to a grocery store or you can hardly go anywhere. I'm talking about places where families go. Man, I don't know about the area y'all in, but yes, I do, because we all on the same planet, same country, and it's crazy everywhere you go. You go in the grocery store every day. Now, I remember how social media used to be like you seeing stuff from all over the country and somebody wilding out, they fighting down in the store, they something crazy going on over here, going on. Now I'm noticing, man, social media is showing me stuff right in the area I live in. And it's
Yep.
every like, whoa, this is happening like right now, and especially the Walmart videos, the Walmart fight videos.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, whoa, that's the Walmart around here.
Yes, I just saw one like that.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling y'all, man, these narcs are crashing out, and they'll walk around like they done lied to themselves. Oh, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm this, I'm that. They're not. They are not fine.
Yeah.
Hold up.
No.
Let me shout out my girl, Patrice Bean. Thank you for being a sponsor tonight, Patrice.
Before you read that, I want to answer something. Somebody said that their ex left them for somebody with 3 degrees and have more money. Have you ever heard of the term more money, more problems? The more money they are around, the more problems they create. Just because you think there's money on the other side, you think that person is living a better life. That's the lifestyle that the other person created. They never create anything on their own. They go run and drain up everybody else's resources, energy, life. It's a matter of time before that empire that person built fall, unless she wising up and get out of that situation before that person take everything. And that's part of the reason why they crashing out, because they not lasting long no more. It's so many relationships out there nowadays. You dating a person for 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. It ain't even going 4, 5, 6 months no more, because people is not settling. They're not settling for BS. And the narcs are not hiding it no more. They coming right out throwing slights and digs at people just to see what you could tolerate so they can move on to the next situation if you're not going to be manipulated. This world is crazy. They out there and they not hiding it no more because everybody know about it. Now they're hiding it under the guise of their environment. That's how they grew up. Now they're using that more and more. Oh, you can't take a joke. That's coming up even more and more now. Oh, I was just joking. No, you wasn't. They trying to break you down in the gate because they need you. When they target you, they see something in you. They don't just target you just to target you. It's something in you. And they got to be around you and your energy.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
right.
she got 3 degrees. I had a bunch of degrees, like degrees. If you don't deal with the rejection spirits from childhood, because that's what it was, rejection spirits from childhood, being lied to about, your dad your whole life, like thinking like your dad just never wanted children, all of that stuff, dealing with a manipulative parent, all of that. make you have an escapism, and my escapism was education, because I can get straight A's and I can like excel and be on whatever and have the, the whatever all of that other stuff is. I can do that, and then once you're done, it's like nothing. So now you got all these degrees and you got this, but you still never dealt with rejection spirits from childhood. Then here comes the narc with the fantasy, like, hey, I was just available, even though I'm just like leaving a whole nother family, but I'm not telling you that. I just need to slide into your house because you already got that established. Slither on in. Let's take a few photos because we are a self-made family. It's already prepared for me. And then, yeah, I'm gonna need your bank account. I'm gonna need that card. I'm gonna need a card because I got the ex took my transportation. I need some people because they bleached mine years ago, but you don't know they just did that yesterday. But I still need those clothes, and then I can make you look good and successful. And I'll go to a couple of parties with you until I get bored and start sleeping with your friends. And this is how we gonna do until you run out of money. And then I'm gonna discard you like the rest because I feel powerful when you educated and I can take you down. Like, that's what the narc is thinking.
Be like, who are you?
You don't deal with them childhood demons, that rejection. The narc could come. Like that narc came with no teeth on a bite. A person to take anything if they got rejection spirit from childhood.
Show me a picture of that. I don't believe it.
See, a lot of people think.
I don't believe that.
Oh, he looked like a troll.
A lot of people think if they see they ex with somebody with money or somebody pretty that they like that person for real, for real. They don't. They about to humble that person. That's just to get more people. Like, look what I got, to make more people chase them. That's all that is. It's just to get more and more.
Because that's all you were. Yeah. You can do nothing but listen. You ain't do nothing for that narc but make them look like relationship material for that person. That's all you are, and that's all you ever was. Believe it or not.
It creates competition in others. When they see women be like, especially if it was a woman that wouldn't give them a chance, and then they see them with you, it's like, oh, I'm finna take him, or I'm finna take her. They do that. That's triangulation. That's all you are to people. And then too, let me say this too, Harry, before I forget this. These people, this proves that these people want to destroy you on their way out, because the situation that happened with me, when he saw that us breaking up didn't affect me and that I went out on a date, he did what he did to me because he wanted to make me no good for the next person. If he couldn't have me, I wasn't going to be no good for the next person. But he couldn't damage me like that because I know what I know and I know what it was for. And that's why I immediately went into therapy, because I'm not about to let somebody make my life a living hell because of what they did to me. But I never feel like I'm not no good for the next person. As long as I'm good for God, that's all that matters to me.
Say that. You know what?
You were the reason they had any image at all. Like, at all. Any kind of image at all was because of you. And that's it. They still who they are on the inside. They have this facade and they have what you may think of them, which they very much think about your opinions because they try to be you and they feel like you're up here somewhere. They still feel like that, even though they think they're you, but they still feel like that. But they still know who they are on the inside in some way. Even if they suspended in a quantum, they know that they're a fraud. They just don't want nobody else to know.
And you know what? This is the part I wanted to add to that comment, which was everybody. We get so intimidated by money. let me tell y'all something, man. Somebody that's for you ain't gonna allow you to be intimidated because somebody got some money. Anybody that you get nervous when you around this person because you around some people who got some money, then understand that's a vibration. And that vibration is talking to you. And it's telling you something that you feared and that you don't want to face. And that is that the person that you with is for sale.
Yep.
Person is for sale. Okay. And if they get the opportunity, the reason you feeling what you feeling, that's your spirit telling you this joker right here about the man. If they get this opportunity, they gone. They gone. And I want you to know something, because this is something that I just picked up recently myself. I want y'all to know something about this money. Okay. Because again, we all in the same world. We need money. That's our life. That's how life is set up. That's what it is. But let me help you out with something. The money that's for you is for you. We don't allow, we go out here, man, and you ready to exchange everything in your life for some money. You can be bought. Again, well, I ain't gonna keep defending the fact that we gotta survive, because you don't. A lot of y'all don't see, because I didn't even see this. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, come on, man, I could have been one of them Powerball winners. Why can't I hit it sometime? I want that. But what I didn't think about was the demons. What I didn't think about was the threats, the lifestyle that's going to change, the way you got to live your life. Once you get that money, a lot of y'all and myself did not know that all money ain't good money. No. Some of us don't have that money because we're not willing to sell our soul in a way that some people are willing to sell their soul. Some of y'all don't have the money that you want to have because you don't need that demon around you. You don't not, and not only do you not need that demon, you being protected. You literally being protected because that money is going to bring evil around you. It's going to bring wickedness around you. Don't think that money just about going to the mall and spending. Don't you think listen, some of y'all not ready for the level of jealousy, animosity, and hatred that money going to bring to you. Yeah, everybody going to be smiling.
Yeah.
But everybody going to want some. And the moment you can't provide it, you can't give it openly, freely, man, you can get set up. You're going to get talked about. You ain't going to be no good. They crashing out, and they crashing out for a reason. I look at you. I mean, right now, we can see how Hollywood just got exposed over the last few years. And before that, everybody want to be at Hollywood. Everybody want to be at one of these Hollywood parties, and we ain't even know how serious the ritual is.
They got a Satan Baphomet right there on the boardwalk. The Satan overlooking the Hollywood stars.
It might say it, but we not looking at it like that. We looking at it like, oh, they just, no, y'all. That's a serious ritual that they performing out there with people. You go out there and get into that mess. Ain't nobody who has gone through that came out the same way. And everybody in it will tell you, well, it's certain doors that you go through. And usually the doors with the most money, you're not walking through that door and coming out with your soul. It ain't set up for that. You think, oh, they just gonna let people through and they get to keep their soul. You lost your mind. No.
You either gonna trust God or you gonna trust this world. You're gonna either trust God, a universe, God Almighty Creator, Yah, or you gonna be trusting the beast system, Satan, and his stuff is always set up for failure. Yeah, he got the mammon, but Jesus overcame the mammon. He walked on the water. He defeated the water kingdom, the marine kingdom. Everything they do is the marine kingdom. When you decide to live for God, he's a provider. He makes provisions. It's your daily bread, and he gives you enough to sustain your soul. Because like Paul was saying, you give me too much, I'm going to get prideful. I might forget about you. You give me too little, I'm going to be so poor, I'm not going to think about serving you because I'm going to be figuring out life. He give you just enough your daily bread to make it through. Like if you got 3 children, he gonna give you enough to make sure all of you guys are fed, have shelter and clothing. That's his promise. And you stand on those promises. And you don't want the image. Narcissists live for image, but so do the devil. He got a beast that he's making in the image of himself. Like they're gonna worship the image of the beast. Guess who the image of the beast is? The narcissist is one. They're in that class. But people who are wickedly sold out for Satan and got his DNA mark. That's the image of the beast, because the image of the beast is man, because man got the, it is the 6 in there. You got the carbon, that's the 6, that's the atom. And they even use the phonics, because you got Adam, Adam, which is the Hebrew word for man. And then you got atom, Atom, that's the science word for man. So even in the atom, they even using it, they mimicking God's creation. Yes, the men is made, like men are called Adam. They're not called men. They're called Adam in the Bible when they're not Nephilim and stuff. But women are called, it's a different name for us. I think it's Ewa or something that got some W's in it. But the men is what Satan is making this image. And when you have these narcissists, what Satan did is he corrupted that DNA by them making all of these covenants and doing these rituals with everybody they've been with. They've been making as a sacrifice. There's more rituals, until they became in the image and likeness of him. The way that they act is the blueprint for Satan. They do everything, the 7 abominable sins, the 7 things that God hates. That's what narcissists do. It's like they looked at the checklist. I'm going to do that. I'm going to speak the lies. I'm going to do this. I'm going to run hate, make my feet swift to evil. I'm going to devise wicked plans. That's all of them. They check it off. And that's in the likeness of their father, the devil. That's how that works.
And a lot of people seem to believe that, if they have money, that it brings a whole new life for them. But I have never seen a thief not want, because he live in the hood, not go rob a doctor. It doesn't matter what type of life you have, what type of money you have. It's not going to pull you away from crime. It's not going to pull you away from the devil. The devil is the devil. He just brings new levels of thieves and criminals to your life to do his work. And I'm grateful for what I have. One thing we don't understand is everything we went through is not by accident. God knew our life before we were even made. So he knew what the outcome was going to be. He just wants us to see what's in us, what he put in us. And we got through this, and that's the start. I feel like if you can get through anything a narcissist put you through, man, the sky's the limit. Because these people take you through the pits of hell, and you have to climb out of there. Man, they dig a grave for you. And eventually you have to turn that around and make that a grave that they dug for themselves, because the minute they fall in, they ain't gonna know how to get out of it.
Ooh, let me get to these.
They'll clean your house out if you go to work. Don't go to work.
We're gonna leave that one alone.
They'll break in through the window.
We gonna get him tonight on that. Listen, Queen G. Thanks for that super chat, Queen G. Queen G said the Narcish, the Narcish knew, thought he was the Joker. The Narc I knew thought he was Drake. Shaking my head. When you finally take that step, you end up laughing to yourself at how pathetic these narcs really, how pathetic they really are, ladies and gentlemen. Monique, thanks for that super chat, Monique. Monique said, my ex-narc hoovered me for years. He drank so much and was diagnosed with liver cancer. Wow. He asked me to take him to the store. We argued the whole time while I put him out of my car. They don't change. 2 weeks later, he died and had a heart. Wow. Had a heart attack. Trees, thank you so much for that super chat, Trees, and for being a sponsor tonight. Trees said, these hobo narcs want old ladies like me. Go ahead, Tree.
You
Tell
know,
them, show it off.
My mom got one.
Monique said, in my relationships, I never knew that I was dealing with a narc. Nobody, I don't think any of us did before now. I didn't know what it was, and damn near couldn't pronounce it or spell it. Amazing Grace. I was once blind, but now I see. Good gracious, man. That is so serious, y'all. We are in a place, these people are crashing out. You going to the store, you in traffic. Man, the summertime is coming, y'all.
It's post-tax season. Like they tax money ran out. See, when the tax money run out, this is what you're gonna always see this in a wave. You're gonna see them act brand new around tax season. They're gonna be booed up for the holidays because they know they gotta file this income tax by January 30th. Okay, narcs know this stuff. They're gonna file the income tax. They know they got about 4 to 6 weeks if they file it the long way before they gonna get some money. So they gotta be cool in that time. So you're getting into about March. They usually take a trip, a vacation. They post their little pics. After that, they crash out because then there's a different level of commitment involved. If they already in a marriage, it's like they probably fell out on a trip, thought you was going to be different, all of this stuff. So now there's accountability. They are already ready to hit the road. They just trying to figure out how they going to get out of this because this person money is drying up and it's post-tax season. So now they got to figure out how can they get their groove in somewhere else to somebody who got some steady income or multiple supplies of income, and so they can sustain themselves. And then they'll get back with that one, the main crash dummy, until they can get another income tax. That's how they do because they are horrible, lazy people. These vessels are horrible because they in connection with death. They tethered to it. So they just go through these repeated cycles, but they want to get with some. They got to run out this tax money because they feel entitled to it. They feel like if your check is they check is they check, but they can't let you just spend that check free and clear. No. So now it's at the end of this. Now things are getting tight. Bills is getting tight. Their stomach probably growling. They can't eat that good food. They on the prowl. So they are crashing out. They doing all kind of crazy stuff. They probably got put out a few places. So they like, they might catch a case in this time. They're very unstable post-tax season.
Yeah. And see, and you know what? That Shannon Sharp situation proves that a narc can run into a bigger narc. Because that's exactly what that girl is. She was trying to set him up. Because why are you recording conversations? She have a lot of conversations that she recorded. And see, he got duped. They can get duped. He now is having buyer's remorse because he figure if I go get a young girl, I can manipulate her, abuse her, mold her to be what I want her to be. And then I can control her. And she let him do all that. She peeped game and started recording everything that he was saying and doing. And she like, I'm about to get this money. That's what that was all about. So now he have to pay. And he's guilty because he offered her $10 million. And she found a bigger narc lawyer that says, I'm going to go after every famous black man with money, and I'm going to get you this money. So all this is a narcissist game in Hollywood where everybody's after everybody's money. Everybody's trying to ruin everybody's reputation. Because Shannon, he was warned by Monique when he had her on the show. She told him, leave them young girls alone. Cat Williams even told her, I'm scared of white girls. I'm not racist or nothing. I'm just telling y'all. You see, he was warned. And God tried to give them that window of opportunity where they can make that right choice, and they choose the wrong path and go down that road and end up losing everything. They sabotage everything they get, even if they self-made, because they greed makes them think that they entitled to everything, even young girls. He thought he was entitled to that young girl, and she showed him. So I don't feel sorry for him. You don't try to manipulate a baby That's a baby grandpa. You cannot do that. And he get what he deserves.
That's what my ex did. I tell them they be on them children because they feel like this one I can mold, and then they try to live vicariously through them. But I mean, that's a whole different realm. I was like, you have no idea about anything. They already out their mind, but they have no idea about anything.
You know what? I think that even though I hadn't seen everything going on, I just saw like heard a video today where he's saying his part or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, he's toxic with her, and he dealing with somebody. He knows she a snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she an OnlyFans model or something, right?
They belong together.
The OnlyFans model or something like that. So
yeah.
So it ain't like he didn't know what she was. I mean, he know what she is. So he like, I'm with that.
Yes.
But the thing about it is Shannon, bro, tell me something. How do you set yourself up like that? You know what she do for money. And
Right.
you think that cause you Shannon, she gonna let that go? That didn't even cross your mind.
When they ziggity boo, they don't know what to do.
She know. Everybody she knows know his net worth. Everybody she knows his net worth because all of them studying it. Oh man, girl, you know that fool got $100 million, and he only gonna give you 10. And then you got a lawyer. They done turned your $10 million down. What she got? She got something serious on her. They say that it's easier, it's better to just pay people to go away than to fight them. Because when you go to court, they're going to bring all your dirt out. And you don't want your dirt out there. In that life, again, y'all.
Yeah.
That life, when you want to be in the limelight, because everybody want to be able to have that kind of power where you can write somebody a $10 million check to go away. Everybody want that kind of money, right? But do you want, because see, we all thinking, well, I ain't into all that stuff right there. And that's why you ain't in that position. Because all of that stuff ain't for you. You ain't ready for that world. It's a different world out there for people that's connected to that. Those people go through rituals. They go through rituals to keep the masses in shackles, mental shackles.
You know what? I think all that is a setup because she ain't even really famous. I think that attorney in on it. He probably sent that girl to that man to set this up.
No. He Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is a football player.
No, I'm talking about that attorney.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and I believe because where would she find this man to even go to him and say, "Hey, I got this on him. Let's sue him." I think
they've been on shit. They've been on his heels. She just been waiting for the right moment to crack this case open. She just been waiting for the right moment. Okay. Now we got him lined up. Okay, let's get him.
That's what Satan do. This is exactly how it go down in his world every day. He does this every day. What he does, he sets them up. He gets them in a covenant. That all of them sexual sins, Satan know the Bible. They all of his whole kingdom know the Bible. They use it for their rituals. They make sure they do the opposite. You gotta have that legality. Once he made that, there's a covenant involved. Go up there, hey, I can destroy this man. I can take everything he has. Because it say when you follow this strange woman and you do this stuff, it leads you down to the pit where the dead are. That's exactly what it's saying here.
But you know what? Somebody said they met at the gym, and I know that But you know how narcissists, once they get you in their sights, you're their
Yeah,
target. So
yeah.
she could have been doing that
Knew
to
what
get to
he
him.
knew what he
You
wanted.
think somebody
Oh,
didn't know his routine? Come
Man,
on, that's how she ran into this guy. She set that up.
come on. She knew what he wanted. She knew what he liked. And that
Yep.
was that.
she had them desires.
Is he
Mhm.
trying to catch feelings. And he trying to catch feelings with somebody that was supposed to be a one and done. Like, bro, you
She's
keep
probably a whole hybrid. Yeah, y'all don't know the hybrids are amongst us. I mean, men really should know this, especially if they live on the coast. There are some things that they do. Remember that book that the one chick wrote? Remember what she called herself, okay? Remember that name.
oh yeah,
Was she Kill O'Neill? What she called herself?
yeah.
Okay, them is what that's what they get down. Now when they do that, they take this life force, they take it to the marine kingdom. There's a snake lady down there, half snake, half woman, drinks that stuff and destroys a man's entire livelihood. That goes down. That's very important for men to know because these women are very seductive, very attractive. They go to the clubs for them one night stands, and the man is never the same. And that is what happens in the spirit realm. They drink their life force. Not all women are doing that, but them hybrids are. And there's more of them hybrids out here than people know now.
And you
And
know
see,
what? And that's one of the reasons he's not able to just get in and out, be one and done. Because when you are intimate with a narcissist, you're not going to leave it fulfilled. You're not. You're going to leave it wanting, and you don't even understand why. It's just like being in the desert outside all day in this heat and you drinking vinegar and you wondering why you
There's
so
a
thirsty.
spell involved, witchcraft. People are bewitched. Witchcraft do some stuff.
You don't.
Like that movie Sinners, it'll take your mind.
You think that did you think that female saw him and she knew who he was? She knew who he was, and Shannon go everywhere he gonna have a entourage, somewhat of an entourage with him. So at the end of the day, it's the same thing that we talking about when we talk about these young athletes out here. It's like, bruh.
She was sent.
You want to be
Mission.
this. You want to be this guy. Now you're making the same decisions that you would have when you were 19. And look at what it's about to cost you now. And what it's already costing you because he had to step away from CNN or something, and
ESPN.
putting your money on the shelf. Like, bro, why? Why? For what? Because you
But you,
don't have enough self-control to say, man, hold up. Because it ain't nothing special about this particular female. She doing the same thing that did 100,000, 1 million other
oh
OnlyFans
yeah.
doing.
Oh, but she's a witch, and he's not protected. He got a target on him. This stuff go down.
No,
He
see,
on a
that's
whole mission, and
see,
that
y'all
mission.
know attorneys are ambulance chasers. This man is
Yes.
chasing money. That's why I believe it's a
Yes.
setup. He tried to get Diddy, he tried to get Jay-Z, and it failed. So, with this, that shows how narcissists get slick. When they fail at certain situations, they get better. And he got better with this girl. I believe all three of those was a setup. But let me show y'all this how narcissists try to smear and get ahead of the story. Shannon Sharp did his little interview and he tried to get up. Oh, I know it's a 10-minute tape, is this and that. What he tried to do was discredit whatever was coming out. So you could say, wait, I'm not going to watch this 5 seconds of this. I want to see the whole video. So now you're not going to believe what she said until you see or hear the whole video. That's how narcissists do. Sometimes the smear campaign is just like that. It's not just necessarily, oh, you're crazy, oh, you're this. In a professional world where he had to be professional, that's how he had to smear her name and make her look like she is not credible.
But he had to come back with that because she taping phone conversations, and he's probably thinking like, well, you don't have my permission to share that. You don't have my permission to share that. You don't have my permission to take this conversation between us and have my voice and present that to somebody. So he's thinking, nah, you need permission or I can sue you for that. But she don't put it out there. Like, nah, this is you and this ain't nothing that I'm just making up and this is what's been going on between us. But at the end of the day, again, he's willing to put up $10 million just for some physicalness, for some intimacy you giving up, and they want $50 million. He ain't saying
that's the one that is his card. The devil will throw one out. He will, anytime there's a shift happening globally, there's a shift happening. Had the Pope guy, you had the World Economic Forum guy, he stepped down. And the Nestle guy with his jacked up eye, I don't know if anybody's seen that picture. That eye looks crazy. That guy then took the stage, okay? I don't even know what that is because the way that eye looked, if anybody looked at it, people should be highly concerned. But he took the stage and he has certain policies that he want to make globally and implement. So everybody's waiting to see what they say to make sure they don't try to completely take away America's freedoms, which they're going to try to do. So globally, there's a shift that has happened because the beast has risen. Okay, the beast is down here and so is the mark. So when that's risen, then here's the distraction. The Shannon Sharp stuff. Those are Satan's players. He's a whole Satanist. Like he'll throw them out there just like he did Diddy. Every time something happening globally, something happens like, with that kind of stuff. But that's how they get down in that kingdom. And the narcissist, people may not know it when they say they crashing out. God's judgment is coming upon this world. Like they're getting judged left and right. Like they're facing their judgment because they refuse to repent.
They feeling it, and they feeling it like they ain't never felt it before, and they are crashing out. And y'all seeing, that's why we seeing so much crazy activity every single day. When y'all get up tomorrow, you're going to see something crazy tomorrow that happened today, and something crazier than that is going to happen tomorrow, and so forth and so on. And it's getting worse. They crashing out. And
this mind control stuff out here, they susceptible to it. The smart guys, they are the ones susceptible because they have no moral compass. That's what this goo parasite things, this mind control parasites, that's the ones that they can literally completely take over. And they acting aggressively, they acting out of their minds. This is the technology that's here now that they're using. The frequencies affect them. So they refuse to repent. God is still like, hey, they can repent. He give them opportunity after opportunity. They go to war with God. So they are reaping what they sowed. They sowed a lot of dark seeds, broke a lot of families, destroyed things. It's a death garden going on. Mm-hmm. And because they sowed it and they mocked God, he said, don't be deceived, don't be mocked. No, he said, be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, that he reapeth. So these narcs, this is reaping season.
And you know what? This Shannon Sharp is a distraction. And that's why I tell everybody it's time for us to get closer to God, because there's about to be a lot of blood on the streets, because this man has signed an executive order where schools can discipline children. These kids nowadays are more disrespectful than ever, and these kids ain't going. They will off these teachers. Yeah. They will beat them within an inch of their lives. I mean, this is not the time for that. This generation is the worst. I think we're having our Bible moment where God just flooded the earth, because that's how I feel like he should be doing it now.
Well,
this is too much.
This is like I was saying the other night, like I was saying on Wednesday night. The thing we never really paid attention to was when they took God out of everything in the first place. Because after when they got God out, then they take the man out. And what do they really want with the parents? Nothing. They want the future. They want the children. Because once you can destroy the children, then that's the children are the future. Not the parents. The children are the future. My man, True too. I see you in there.
Children ain't my future.
True too said the Bible says a fool in his money shall soon depart. Shannon was a bigger fool and a worse cheater. Man, oh man. Talissa. Woo, good God. Thanks for the super chat, Talissa. Talissa said, first time in here, I contracted HIV from Narc X. He still cheated. Wow, he still cheated with unsuspecting women and men, ladies and gentlemen. For all of y'all that don't think that they rolling like that. Says he's undetectable, so he's good. Been divorced 3 years. So, Talissa, I mean, you can believe that if you want, but if you got it from him, he ain't undetectable. And he passing it out. And sometimes that's how people do. And he obviously felt comfortable enough knowing that you're not really going to try to, you're not going to really try to do anything legal to him because he knows you loved him. But he out here just passing it out like candy. You're not the only one he's passing it out to. Oh, no, because when he bought that home to you, that was proof. And ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about this many a night. If y'all think that narc is somewhere using protection with somebody new, you have lost your mind. That's what they not gonna do.
They're literally tethered to the kingdom of darkness. They're tethered to that. So listen, I want to tell you something about HIV and cancer and herpes and a lot of these different long-term diseases. A lot of them they start spiritual first. That's why they attach to certain things and they attack the immune system. So the ones that attack the immune system, they're not going to tell you this in the medical field, but I studied this to the genetic level. But what happens with that is that spiritually, that's already out there. And what happens is they wait for the iniquity, the sin to happen in order for that thing to become active and manifested in the natural. That's the spiritual way of that happening. Because in African magic, they literally can send HIV. They send them by their sorcerers and them and their agents, and they can blow it, like they can spiritually give somebody HIV before they physically make it happen. And then that iniquity sin, because there's something called black goo, and this black goo stuff is from the kingdom of darkness, and it can be graphene, it can be goo, it can be a lot of things, but that's the black stuff that you see on the lung with cancer. That's the stuff that's like death. It's a slow death and decay, and that stuff be attached to this, and it's a certain a gene, a CCR5, that didn't affect like hybrids from Europe, when they had the Black Plague, because the Black Plague came from the HIV, genetically engineered, but a gene didn't affect them, so they thought that their bloodline would be safe, like a Hitler type of bloodline would be safe from it. So they engineered this HIV stuff from that Black Plague death, which came from the underworld technology, and they put it out there, and they were trying to make sure as many people of minorities got infected as possible. But you can conquer that. I say all that, and I know it's a lot, but I say all that to say, if it starts from the underworld and it starts spiritual, then you can conquer it in the spiritual realm. You just have to have a blood transfusion from Christ and really understand who you are and really go to war. But you can literally be healed in Jesus, because he can heal the bloodline. He can reset your inherited DNA. And there's a certain prayer for inherited DNA, because a lot of these diseases were out here and they were attached to the iniquity sin of either the fornication, the adultery, or whatever was going on. But once you remove that and then you confess the sins and everything, and you go through the healing and deliverance, you can tackle that entity that's rooted in that HIV. Because Fauci was behind that, just like he was behind the virus that was the pandemic virus.
But you know
and
what?
You know what?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and that's why, sometimes, man, it's hard to forgive these people, because these people will give you a death sentence. And that's a death sentence, man. And you can't just easily forgive somebody. And I don't feel sorry for somebody like him, because I swear I hope somebody beat him within an inch of his life and let him live so he can experience what you're experiencing, because that's not right. I mean, I'm a lost for words. I'm like emotional right now, because that's sickening. That's
Mm-hmm.
very
It is.
sickening to do to somebody.
It is.
And
And
then just run around here and keep doing it. And then so selfish, you giving it to both male and female. You
hey,
are
ain't
some
nothing.
type of evil to do something like that. And I
That's it.
swear to God, I hope somebody don't have the grace and mercy for him that I have.
Well, at the end of the day, God knows the perfect punishment for every last one of us. The perfect punishment. So, he gonna handle him. That's already being handled. On
Yeah.
her side, you have to understand that there are people out here, man, that have cracked the code on this. The reason we don't hear about cures for those diseases is because of the billions, the trillions being made off of disease. But everything on this planet is curable by something on the planet. If it came from this planet, then it's something here that will cure it.
That thing came from the underworld, because the technology behind that it got to do with Fauci. He the Reaper. That's what his name literally means. But he studied the
Yeah,
HIV. He literally was on the whole platform. He's in my medical books for the HIV development. He developed it, and then he made the cure for it, just like they doing now with the vid thing and the remdesivir. That's what they do. They have the disease, which is the decay, and then they have the cure, which is also a decaying agent, but they have it in a lower toxicity, but it's going to kill healthy cells. The same with chemotherapy. Like, it all go back to them raw deities that they was worshiping in Egypt. It all go to the black goo that they went to Kuwait and got. It all goes to that stuff in this medicine. And that black stuff that they got out there now, like, they've engineered it and manipulated to a point where they are trying to wipe out the humanity. That's why the HIV, if people really looked at them numbers, it should have decreased because of so many treatments, right? No, from 2020 on up, it increased because part of it was used in a subunit on certain things that was dispensed out. It was part of the whole agenda, like all of this stuff. We said that there's going to be a number of cases. Like, it was a panel of practitioners and doctors. They were like, hey, based on this information that we researching, there's going to be a peak in these diseases. And there are, and especially in certain areas where there's a lot of minorities, and Texas is a big one, but there are certain peaks in this, just like Australia, because they was putting this in the stuff. You can see the stuff, like we seen the data, but it starts spiritual. And yeah, it would take, like, it's not just one prayer, because somebody was asking about the prayer. It's really like dedicating your life praying and going through some deliverance. Like, this thing here got to be cast out. It's a spirit of infirmity, but it's also, you got to cast out that spirit of death, and you got to cut the tethers with the spirit of death.
that's right. And guys, believe it or not, most of this stuff is attaching itself in us in worms, microscopic worms, but worms nonetheless. And like Dr. Sebi said, in mucus. Disease is mucus. That's exactly what it is. Every last thing out here is curable, people. You're not going to get told that, because they make a lot of money selling
Yeah.
lifelong. They will sell you medicine for the rest of your life. Ask an old person.
See,
They got all kinds of pills everywhere trying to keep them alive, because we live in a world where people get paid. That's how they
and
make a living, off of
and not
you being uncomfortable.
And not just that, on top of them giving you pills, they give you the secret, and we're just too blind to see it. They tell you to
Mhm.
live a healthy life.
Come
So
on.
those pills don't work unless you live a healthy life. So
Come
that's
on.
giving you the
Woo.
solution right there is to live a healthy life. Stop drinking, stop drugging, exercise, work. That's all it is. That's the cure to everything. But they have to give us give something a name, to give us pills, convince us that we got it, tell our doctors to drill it in our heads, to say that we need these meds for this, and then we're going to take it because we respect our doctors and feel like they have our best interests at hand. And that's why I'm glad that I have a doctor that don't believe in pills like that. I had to find me a doctor that listened to me and not what he wanted me to do. And even when I feel like I want something like anxiety pill, he's like, no, it's always
Woo.
against pills. He's not for pills. And I'm glad I have that doctor because he taught me this.
My
There's
girl.
some vitamins out there that help with that. L-theanine help a lot with anxiety, and that's a vitamin. That's a supplement. Like it's a lot of things, but the anxiety helps. The anxiety comes from fear, and you got to deal with the fear and the life stressors and the overwhelmness to get rid of the anxiety. You got to face those things. Like even with the narcissists, like them, their true identity on who they are, got to face that. Like that'll prolong it when you kind of avoiding it. Like I don't know if they're with someone and you face it and you own it. Like yes, they were wickedly evil, and especially the prison. Like it's a lot of prison inmates that make deals with the devil. My ex made a deal with the devil, and I think the one before him, the pastor one, he was also but I think he made the deal with the devil because he was in there like 10 years. I think they get approached or something. But that one was robbing purses. I think he on his fifth wife, maybe sixth wife. But he like men, you
Sick.
know.
Hey,
I
baby.
think he on his sixth wife, but he choked out one in front of people. Like these people are unstable, but they make a deal with the devil. Like the stuff that the last ex said, like the devil approached him in prison. Now I don't know what the deal was, but the way he living, that contract is holding up because he's not doing anything opposite of what the devil does.
There you
But
go.
we have to be careful, especially when they come out. Yeah, they gonna be buff and all of that. They ain't doing nothing but lifting weights. They gonna say every love thing that you want to hear because they read all the books, the movies. They got the info from others. They need a home and they need a identity, and they gonna do all the kinky stuff because they can eat poop and suck toes. That's what they do. They do
And
weird
they not
stuff.
gonna tell and they not gonna tell you they were cuddled up with Bubba every night. They not gonna tell you that
Yeah,
part.
they're unclean spirits. They do unclean things.
Oh, salad. Not tossing no salads. Come on now.
Even the stuff you got pineapple with, like man, that's
It just made me
pineapple,
lose
bro.
my appetite for mine.
Listen, y'all. My girl Kimberly K said Dr. Sebi died roots can cure those diseases. I healed myself naturally of lupus. So again, y'all, if it came from this, if it's in this world, it came from this planet, there is a cure for it, ladies and gentlemen. It's guaranteed. We live on a planet that knows that is the most intelligent place you could possibly be. Your body does the same thing when it's allowed to. My man,
See,
True Two, thanks again for that super chat, champ. True Two said the ex narc and I got to go to court May the 1st, 2025. She's severely in. Ooh, bless you, champ.
thank you.
She is severely in the hole. I let her go before. She bought me something uncurable. Don't let them make you sick, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all hearing it right from people who have gone through that, who have made that mistake in dealing with them. And it's so many people that have gotten trapped like that, got stuck like that. And all you're thinking is we trying to work this out. Let's work this out. Let's get this back to a place where I used to fantasize we were at. Not where we were at. Not where we were really at, but I was fantasizing about getting to that place. Because, guys, that's all you ever going to have when you're dealing with a narc. You're going to fantasize about what you wish that y'all could have and what you wish it could have been. But it never was that, and it's never going to be that. Ladies, it's that time.
And get this book. You see, this book is called.
Hold on. You gotta pull it back a little bit.
Okay, Be in Health.
Right
A more excellent way.
Okay.
Be in Health. By
Go.
Dr. Henry Wright. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Put it in the put it in the chat. Let them see it in the chat. Yeah. That time. We done ran the score up tonight, boys. Look at y'all.
I get to go eat my shrimp. I want to go eat. I had my shrimp. I was like, I can't eat the shrimp like on the team, but yeah, looking like Bubba shrimp
salad. I'm on a mean diet. I only had 2 salads today.
Let's get the people something good to get them through the next week. Cause boy, oh boy, it's serious here in these streets.
It is serious. And the narcissism has went up. So I want to leave people with, we are in the last days. This is the last hour. We pretty much at Revelation 13. I think the whole half the time was like this world has reset a couple times after the 500s. Then there was a little ice age in the 1600s. And now we're about half that time. So prophecy is a little, it's a little, don't listen to the prophecy that they've been saying it because they was basing it off their knowledge at that time. But the Holy Spirit gives you like some revelation. But nevertheless, this beast has risen. So we are at the end of this. And the narcissists are full-fledged, like the image of the beast. Okay. The beast is within them. And they are dispersed. They are running rampant. They're everywhere you turn your head because the whole environment, culture of the world has tailored to this beast, this monster. So our court systems, our education systems, our health systems, all of this is tailored to still keep you in bondage to the beast. So when you have that, when God is trying to pull you out of something and he took you out for your life, for you to live, don't look back. They are crashing out of everything because not too many people, unless they just deluded and like curse themselves and they just want to go down with the beast. Not too many people gonna stay with these people because you can't do that and sustain life. They're gonna take your mind, they're gonna take your money, they're gonna take your health. They bring Kala inside of them. Kala is death and destruction, aka Shiva, that they opened up with CERN. Remember the dancing thing? That's that thing. That's what's inside of them. That's why they always dancing and doing little things when they bringing you down because it's collecting the energy for Kala thing. So we have to understand this stuff is way beyond us and it's deeper than we ever know. But God is the rescuer and God loves each and every one of us. And anybody that he pulled out, he is pulling out so that you can just know him and have a relationship with him so you can have the worth and identity that the enemy stole, that he has been robbing from birth. And he wants to put that back inside of you and let you understand how precious you are. You have authority over all of this stuff. He's given it to you. And he just wants to nurture you and heal you and make you whole and not be connected to something that was decaying. And that's because he loves us. If he didn't love us, we would still be in that stuff. The narcissist probably going to link up with another narcissist because that's all that's out there. They don't have the protection. And even if they get with the young ones is beating them up. My first husband get beat up by his wife. First, she was all submissive, or his girlfriend. First, she was all submissive and everything because she was young, but now she beats him. And it's been going on for decades. So there's nothing that they can really run to after they've destroyed someone that God has tailor-made for mercy and for compassion and love in this world. It's not much out there after that because he's not going to keep letting them repeatedly destroy his children. So if you were pulled out, especially in this time, it was because the narcs, they are reaping what they sow. They are crashing out. And he did not want you to go down to the pit with them. That's all I have to say. That was long. Sorry.
It was good.
Right on time, all the time. It's terrible out here. It ain't getting bad no more. John?
I'm going to say this. A lot of us are not healing like we should because we still have the door to sin open. And as long as you keep that door open to sin, you're going to always be curious. And so I just suggest that you guys focus on God because that's where I'm at in my life. And, it's a lot of things that's happening out there. And I do have a lot of anxiety from it because I don't know, it's unpredictable and it's scary out there, and I'm not just scared for myself, I'm scared for my kids, I'm scared for their future, I'm scared for their education. This world makes me want to just bunker down and just coddle my kids and raise them in the house and homeschool them, because I think that's what it's getting to now, where our children need to be homeschooled because our children are being taught things that we thought that we would have that conversation with them at a certain age, but now they're learning these things younger and they're getting addicted to vices. I'm seeing a lot of kids because they don't want to cope with their problems getting addicted to video games, smoking cigarettes. That vape thing is a popular thing now. That these kids, they're in the club vaping all day long. And it's not good for our kids. We have to protect our kids. We lived our lives. Now we have to live our lives for our children. We have to protect them because the devil is coming for them. And that's why a lot of these laws are being written and changed to attack our kids. It's attacking what they're allowed to learn. Only history they want our children to learn is the American history. But you can't have American history without the history of other races. But they want us to be taken out. They don't want our story written. They don't want our story out there. But we have to teach our kids because America is the most evil country. You
Mm.
might have dictators in other countries, but America has done some real dirt. We have created genocide in other countries. This place was stolen from people, and then other people were taken from another country and bought here and built on the backs of slaves for billionaires to have that money and be selfish with it, knowing that we're in a financial bind and they can't even open their wallets to help us out. The government has money, they make money, people are suffering and they don't care. They just want to create more suffering for us. That's a damn shame when you're paying $15 for a carton of eggs. That's a shame. And the rich is getting greedier. Walmart, imagine there is no way in hell a place gonna raise a price and then lower it back down when they're told to, because they're losing money. They might take a few dollars off, but they're not gonna lower it back down to what it used to be. And that's where we're at in this day and age. We need to get closer to God because it's about to get nasty out there, and we gonna need them.
You saying it's about to get?
Oh, it ain't. Oh, this the tip of the iceberg right here.
Man.
On that Nestle, look at that. Look at the World Economic Forum guy. Look at his eye. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Summertime is right on our heels. And I see how just everyday life, just regular everyday life, how it's being affected. So many people, again, you got people that's losing their money, losing their jobs, being displaced, and it's rampant. It's rampant out here. We are now in a time, we're in a time in history that we've never seen. We don't know the outcome as far as where this temporary situation is going. We know the big picture is we win. Just stay focused. Yes, you was told it's about to get crazy. It's already crazy. It's people out here right now, man. Before it ain't gonna be long. Yeah, I'm saying this. It ain't gonna be long. We seeing everything going on now. It ain't gonna be long before people knocking directly on your door doing something crazy.
Yeah.
We are not far away from that, y'all. It's very close. As a matter of fact, let me say this. I'm saying close. We've already entered into that time. We've already entered into that time and space. And it's time for us to be proactive and thinking about how to make it through this next phase. Because this next Joker, and guys, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier. You made it through hell. You made it through the actual devil. So we equipped to make it through adversity. You think that the stuff you're going through in life is big and it's bad? You think that you being punished unjustly, you looking at it as punishment. I'm looking at it and I'm telling you, you need to look at it as, man, God getting you ready. Because we're in a place now where you were just talking about money, billionaires and how they do this and do that. See, we're in a place in life where people tired of just pretending.
Yep.
People are tired of pretending like, well, hold it. If we all came to this country, how did these people already have money? Because they print it. I ain't impressed by no billionaire, trillionaire. I ain't impressed. Matter of fact, I'm looking at him like, bruh, you just the one who's sitting here with the money machine. You make the money. How can you not be rich when you the one make the money? We live in a time where everything is being transparent. Man, Cat Williams said that. We live in a day and age where everything gonna be placed right in front of you. And I don't know about the rest of y'all. If y'all remember this part of the story, that money that people hold so near and dear, but this gonna be the one that shocked the world when you see money piled in the streets. The people who sold their soul, it's gonna be piled in the streets, worthless. It's gonna be absolutely worthless. Imagine how you gonna feel knowing you sold your soul for that. See, yeah, all of us want to have large amounts of money. Yes, we do. But not all of us sold our soul for it, though. See, a lot of y'all don't know what it's like to try to go to sleep at night knowing you sold your soul. You gave your virtue away. You sold your integrity. You said, man, look, it's a dollar sign right here. Just give me that dollar sign and do anything you want to do immoral with me. A lot of us don't have to go to sleep at night and try to get to sleep and need drugs to go to sleep and need some type of assistance to go to sleep. We have already entered into the room, ladies and gentlemen. So don't act surprised when you see it. You are already in the room. Now we in a place where you being told as we go along in the story, just so you know, ain't nothing crazy. Ain't nothing crazy happening to you. It's everybody. It's all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in that time. We are now living through that revelation. And y'all already been told what it is It's man, it's coming. It's gonna be so bad. You gonna wish you could unalive yourself. So if you think this is bad, this is right now. These are those light, sunny, happy days. Because this thing really about to turn up. And I mean, it's already turned up. It just ain't knocked at your front door yet. When it do, when it does, just know we win. That's the spoiler alert. We win.
Yes.
So hey, y'all, we're gonna leave y'all just like we came in here, just like we always do, like we do right about this time. We're gonna leave you with nothing but love, peace, happiness, peace, and so. Thank you,
Do the
ladies.
funky chicken. Do it, Ariel. Do the funky chicken.
You don't know nothing about that.
You do it.
Thank you, ladies, for coming through this evening. We had
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You guys are just everything. The love is appreciated. Thank you.
For sure.
Bye. Woo.